Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to this video. I'm going to go over our kindergarten work packet that is being handed out at Liberty from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day this week. I encourage you to go pick up a physical copy. There's also a digital copy online on the Liberty Learns website, and I'll link that below. If you do not have the ability to go and get the packet, I'm going to show you on this video some of the work that's in it and how you can adapt to work on those skills with your kids. Because at the end of the day, it's all about working on the skills that are in this packet. It's not really about filling out this exact piece of paper. So first, we just have our little letter, and then we have our sight words. Okay, sight words. Practice, practice, practice. You know, go for it. As many sight words as you can practice. I think we're about here officially on the paper, but if you want to just start throwing in all of them, go for it. It's not going to hurt to know more words. There are so many ways to practice sight words. You can just read them off the paper. You can practice writing them with your child. If you have sidewalk chalk, you can use that. If you have Play-Doh, then they can use some Play-Doh. However you want to do it, it's just about practicing the words. And again, sight words they should be able to look at and within 3 seconds be able to recognize. The reason why we call them sight words is because a lot of them you can't sound out. They follow trickier word spelling patterns, or they just don't make any sense. So I encourage you to just make some flashcards or just, write a few on a piece of paper and have your child practice them. That's something too, if they have siblings or something, that they can practice as well. After that, we start with our math stuff. So we have just our number writing practice to 30. If you don't have a packet, not a problem. Just grab a piece of paper, a pencil, a crayon, whatever you have at home, and just practice writing those numbers to 30. Then we have a lot of domino number bonds. So for those, you just have the 2 parts. And so this one is a 1 and a 3. The child should put 1 in here and 3 in here. And then the total would be 4. So the total goes here at this top part. And that is where we put the hole every time. So if you don't have this packet or this piece of paper, then you can just draw your own. So I have a little whiteboard here to show us how you can do that, but you can do it at home with a paper, pencil, again, a crayon. Use whatever you have. You can just draw a little rectangle, make yourself a domino, make something up with how many dots you're putting in. And then if you just draw a number bond. So to draw a number bond, you just draw your total, and then you have 2 lines coming out of there. And then you draw 2 circles here for the parts. Obviously, doesn't need to look perfect. So again, if there are 3 dots over here, they will write the number 3 in one of the parts. If there are 2 dots over here, they will write 2 on that side, and then they will add them all together and see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our total, and we will write 5 at the top. So these you can recreate on your own in a notebook with whatever you have. Feel free to do so. You can also, if we look at this next page, same thing. It's the domino number bonds again, but instead of number bonds, they are making number sentences. So what that one will look like, if we will just grab something to erase here. Let's see. All right, thank you for hanging with me here. We will just go ahead and we will draw another domino. And you'll see it just looks like this. Okay, so you look at the 2 parts and you see that you have 0 and 4. So they'll write 0 over here plus 4 equals 4. Again, don't need to have the paper to be able to do this with your student. So there are a couple of those. Then there are lots of these worksheets where they just have some stars or some hearts. So basically it's working on that same skill, but instead of having dominoes, it's having little objects. So this is something that you could do with a paper and pencil. You can also just do it with any objects that you have at home. So maybe, you'll have some goldfish crackers or markers or crayons, and you can just say, this is one group and this is the other group. Can you tell me how many I have all together? So again, it's just working on that skill. And then this does have them write out the number sentence. So for example, if these were your two parts, you would have them write 2 + 1 = 3. So lots of ways to practice that. You don't actually need to have this paper in your hand. This one they're probably going to need a little bit of help with. It says draw enough circles in each group to make a set of 10. So there are 4 circles in this beginning one. So they need to actually think and kind of go the opposite direction and think, how many more do I need to draw to make a set of 10? That is a little bit of a trickier skill, and something that we kind of just started working on. So I would encourage you to help them with that. I always say, what if we put up 10 fingers? Okay, and then we put 4 down because we already have 4 circles. How many more circles do we need to make 10? So lots of ways to work on that. Again, you can use, if you don't have this paper, you can use a physical object. If they have toy cars, you could put 4 cars and then say, how many more cars do we need to make 10? This does not need to be done on a piece of paper. There are a couple pages of those. We've got another page of adding with the dominoes. This one writes the numbers for you, and then you just have to do the total. So if they've done all of that, they should be able to do this one. Then we kind of get into some of our literacy activities. So a lot of it is just review for this week. Shell as school closures continue, we will start putting up newer information that they haven't learned yet. That will be a little bit trickier, but for now it is mostly a review, so they should be able to do most of these activities once you explain the directions to them. So with this one, we just have our CVC consonant, vowel, consonant words, and we ask them to tap it out, app, map, read it, and then just draw a line to the picture of the map. So my suggestion with this one, if you don't have the piece of paper, is to just write the word, and then to just ask them to draw a picture of it the best way they know how, next to it. So if just have them read it and draw a picture next to it. Simple, easy adaptation. Wow, sorry. On this side, they are just tapping out these CVC words. They have the pictures and they just are basically building the word and writing it over here. You don't need the paper. You could just say a consonant, vowel, consonant word and it'll work. Again, all of these papers, you can go on Liberty Learns, the website, and they have all of these papers uploaded, so you can print them out, or you can just look at them on your phone and then do these adaptations that I'm working through. So for this one, cab, ab, cab. They don't really need to see the picture. You can just say the word and they can write it out. If you don't even have a pencil, they can just think and tell you how to spell it. Ways to adapt. This one, I believe, is all short A sounds. So we try to keep it consistent so that once they got in the routine, they would kind of see what to do. So this is all short I sounds, and then building those words with short I. So these pictures are wig, rib, rip, pig, and bib. With this one, they're going to just be filling in the vowel sound. That's where kids have the trickiest time oftentimes, is figuring out what is the vowel sound. So it's either going to be an A or an I that goes inside to match that. So again, you can just practice this skill by writing your own words and leaving out that middle sound, or asking them to spell words. Lots of ways to practice. Then we also have the short O sounds, and we kind of continue that. Short O, matching the pictures, all stuff that they can do. Should not be too tricky for them. They should be able, especially once they get the pattern, to be able to do all of these sheets. So that is what we have for this week. Again, practicing sight words, number one thing, and reading. So everybody has a login and a password for Raz Kids. Sometimes we call it Reading A to Z. They can go on there, and there are tons of books that they can go on, and it will read them to them. They can read them on their own. There are comprehension questions at the end sometimes. That is a great way to practice. I will also be putting up videos of me reading some more books. Miss Hales has some great lessons coming up as well on the YouTube channel. So please text or dojo message your child's teacher with any help or information that you need to complete the packet, and we will be sure to answer you. So thank you and have a great day.